I live on the third floor of a building that's only supposed to have two. That's not a riddle. That's a fact I didn't question until a month ago. Let me explain. I moved into my apartment almost 2 years ago. It's a decent place. Clean. Safe enough. Small balcony, hardwood floors, rent just under the ceiling of what I could barely afford. And according to the leasing agreement, it's a 2-story building, ground floor and second floor where I live. Except, there's a door in the basement. I found it by accident. Our laundry room is in the basement. Nothing fancy, just 2 washers, 2 dryers, and a folding table. The first time I went down there, I noticed a metal door tucked away behind a stack of extra paint cans and old maintenance supplies. No sign, no handle, just a keyhole. I figured it was a boiler room, or maybe an old utility space no one used anymore. But one night I was down there late, maybe close to 1:30 a.m., switching laundry. That's when I heard it. A knock. 3 short raps. Coming from behind that door. I stood frozen. It was cold in the room, but I started sweating. The knock didn't come again. I waited, held my breath. Nothing. Eventually, I convinced myself it was pipes, or the building settling. That's what we do when we're afraid, right? Explain the unexplainable. Patch over reality with logic. So I left the laundry half done and went upstairs. Didn't sleep well that night. A week passed. I avoided the basement, started washing my clothes at a laundromat across town. Inconvenient, but I'd rather pay extra than deal with whatever that was. But then I saw him, or I thought I did. It was a rainy Tuesday morning. I'd just come out of my apartment, heading to work, when I saw someone standing at the end of the hallway, near the stairwell. A man, tall, thin, wearing what looked like an old work uniform, gray coveralls, boots. His back was to me. I said, "Hey, sorry, can I get by?" He didn't move, didn't even flinch. I took a step closer and blinked. He was gone, I told the building manager. She smiled, like she didn't believe me. "There's only 2 floors, hon. You sure it wasn't someone visiting?" I wanted to push to tell her about the door, the knock, but her expression hardened. "There's nothing below the basement. That room's been sealed for years. Then why did someone knock?" I went back, that night, to the basement. I brought a flashlight and a screwdriver. I told myself I just needed to prove it was nothing. The paint cans were still there. The table, the flickering overhead light, and the door, still locked, still cold. I crouched down, tried to shine my light through the keyhole. All I saw was black. But then I heard it again. 3 knocks, this time followed by a voice, low, raspy, male. "Hello?" I dropped the flashlight. It clattered across the floor, casting weird shadows everywhere. I didn't respond. The voice came again. "Hello? Please, it's cold." There was something wrong with it. The way it echoed, like it wasn't coming through the door but from a long tunnel behind it. I picked up the flashlight, backed away, then I ran. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the knock. Every creak of the building made me sit up in bed. At some point, I started to feel like I was being watched. Not in a paranoid way, in a measured way. Like someone was tracking me. I started hearing footsteps in the hallway at night. But every time I checked, no one. Then my neighbor went missing. Julia, mid-30s, quiet, lived in 2B. The mail started piling up outside her door. I knocked a few times, no answer. Then I noticed something. Her doormat, it was gone. I remember it because it was this bright, obnoxious one that said, "Welcome-ish." And the weird thing is, a week later, I saw it again. In front of the basement door. I know how. That sounds... I know I should have called the police, but what would I even say? "Hey, I think a sealed basement door might have stolen my neighbor." They'd laugh. Or worse, think I was the one who did something. So I did what I always do. I went back down. This time, I brought bolt cutters. The lock wasn't standard. It looked old, rusted, like it had been replaced and painted over multiple times. But the bolt cutter worked. The second the lock snapped, I felt something shift, like pressure being released. The air changed. It smelled like dirt and mold. I opened the door. Behind it was a stairwell, leading down. There's no reason a two-story building should have another floor underneath the basement. But there it was. Concrete, steps descending into darkness. I stood there for a long time, trying to decide if I was insane. Then I heard the voice again, closer this time. Please. It's so cold. I went down. Slowly. Flashlight in one hand, knife in the other. The stairs ended at a long hallway. Stone walls. Damp. Silent. Along the hallway were doors, maybe 5 or 6, all unmarked, all identical, all breathing. Yes, breathing. The walls expanded and contracted, subtle, like the whole place was inhaling. I approached the first door, put my hand on it. It was warm. I opened it. Inside was a small room, bare, empty. Except for the mirror, it hung on the far wall, crooked, and in the reflection was Julia standing behind me. But when I turned, nothing, just the room. I looked back at the mirror. She was still there, mouth moving, but no sound. I stumbled back, ran down the hallway, tried the next door. Inside was a table, a chair, and a tape recorder. It clicked on when I stepped inside. A man's voice, weak, fading. Day 91. It watches through the mirror. It learns your shape, your habits. Don't speak to it. Don't look too long. I think it's already taken me. Click. Each room was worse than the last. Each one held a piece of someone. A jacket, a photo, a journal. All people who had lived in the building before. People no one remembered. People who disappeared. I made it to the last door, opened it, and found a room full of mirrors every wall, floor to ceiling. Dozens of faces stared back at me. Some mine, some not. Some smiling when I wasn't. One stepped forward, reached out, and touched the glass. From inside, I ran. Fell up the stairs, slammed the basement door shut behind me, replaced the lock painted over it, blocked it with everything I could find. I moved out 2 days later. Didn't explain, didn't say goodbye, but sometimes, in reflections, I see faces I don't recognize, not behind me, in place of me. And I wonder if I ever really left, or if the one who did wasn't me at all.